It should be back online today by 12:30 p.m. Penn Power has around 500 outages in Westmoreland and Butler counties. In the wake of last week's storm, a state representative says conditions in her district are not safe. Mandy Steele shared her assessment with KDKA-TV.
There are downed wires and trees all over the roads in our neighborhoods. We are reaching a point of incredible urgency.
Steele is the acting chair of the State House Committee on Energy and plans to schedule a hearing in Harrisburg. People impacted by the storm and utility companies will be called to testify. Steele said she's frustrated with the speed of restoration and wants to hold power companies accountable. Significant rainfall over the weekend in the Pittsburgh area. National Weather Service meteorologist Jason Frazier gave us the totals on the Big K Morning Show.
We had areas that saw anywhere from on the low end, like a tenth to a quarter of an inch, to high end, multiple inches to maybe localized 3.
And Jason said there's a chance for precipitation every day this week. Calvin Crew, the man found guilty of first-degree murder for killing an Uber driver in 2022, will be sentenced today to a mandatory term of life in prison. The jury deliberated less than an hour before returning a guilty verdict in February. Crew was seen on video holding a gun to Christina Spicuzza's head before killing the mother of 4. Now, the fan who fell over the Clemente wall last week at PNC Park is awake, alert, and able to speak. Over the weekend, Kevin Markwood's family said that the progress he's made is miraculous, but he has a long recovery ahead after suffering a fractured skull. The exact cause of Markwood's fall remains unclear, and there has been speculation he may have been intoxicated. A Pirates spokesperson said Markwood showed no signs of intoxication at the time of the fall, and the team believes he drank 2 beers at the game. Pittsburgh police are investigating. Starting Wednesday, Pennsylvanians will need a real ID or a passport to board a domestic commercial flight or enter a federal building. News Radio KDK's Rob Taylor has more.
Today is the last Real ID Day that PennDOT is holding before the deadline, where one can go in and get their Real ID the same day. In our area, those locations include the Bridgeville Driver's License Center on Washington Pike and the Beaver Falls location on Constitution Boulevard. They're open until 4:15 this afternoon. Normally, these locations are closed on Mondays. Be sure to bring 1 document proving your identity, 1 document proving your Social Security number, and 2 documents proving your Pennsylvania residency. Rob Taylor, News Radio KDKA.
On Wall Street, the Dow is down 65 points now at 41,252. The Nasdaq is down 91 points, and the S&P is down 30. KDKA Sports, the Pirates start a 3-game series with the Cardinals tonight in St. Louis. Carmen Blajinski will start for the Bucks. The news is brought to you by P.J. Fitzpatrick. For your home's windows, siding, doors, and bath, trust PJ.com. KDKA Radio News Time, 10:03. Skies are mostly cloudy, and it's 59 at Pittsburgh International. AAA traffic in the AccuWeather forecast next.
Kimberly Allen here with Corrigan Moving Systems. Planning to move your office or business? Trust Corrigan Moving Systems, formerly Parks Moving and Storage, Pittsburgh's leader in workplace solutions. From office relocations to decommissioning, warehousing, and inventory management. Corrigan makes moving seamless so your office can be back up and running without skipping a beat. For a free quote, go to CorriganMoving.com or give us a call at 724-237-4578.
Hey everyone, it's Bob Pompiani. I decided to call Pittsburgh Garage, as I told you before, as part of a spring cleaning plan Lisa and I had. I wanted to transform my messy garage into something I could be proud of. And man, did Pittsburgh Garage deliver. They started with my garage floor, which was cracked and filled with salt from the winter. They use these high-performance products. They restored and refurbished my garage floor as if it were brand new by using these great, durable, long-lasting products designed to be heavy-duty, and they look great too. And then new storage cabinets came and made organizing easy and efficient, just like their workmanship. Efficient. All it took was a day and a half, which is their typical installation time. Pittsburgh Garage team members, you know, are full-time employees. In fact, their first-ever employee is still with them today. No subcontracting here. They have an amazing work culture. They're friendly. They're on time, and that's big. Every time on time. Pittsburgh Garage has over 400 5-star reviews. If you want a beautiful garage makeover, call Pittsburgh Garage for free estimates and design consultations. That's PittsburghGarage.com.
From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen, what's up, my friend?
All right. Thanks, Marty. As we look out over the area roads, still plenty of rush hour left for you on the Parkway West. Inbound delays greet you right around the Parkway Center Mall overpass before the Fort Pitt tunnels. Parkway East is easing off, just a little bit of a slowdown between Edgewood, Swissvale, and the Squirrel Hill tunnels. We continue to have that accident being cleared in Penn Hills on Rhode Island Road at Purity Road. And this is one of those construction zone lane restriction notes that bears repeating for your travels on the Parkway East overnights beginning tonight. Weeknight closures of the outbound Parkway East on the city side will happen 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. at the Birmingham Bridge. This is weeknights through late May. There will be a posted detour and leave extra time to get around it. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
For the rest of today, we'll see intervals of clouds and sun. There'll be a shower, even a couple of heavy, gusty thunderstorms around in the afternoon and early tonight, any of which can produce downpours, hail, and damaging wind gusts, the high 73. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
With Amazon Business, smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
It's the Big K, Big Three.
Brought to you by New Flow Men's Health. The biggest 3 stories of the day on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Folks, we're live at Oakmont Bakery this morning. There's a tie-in here to the calamity that happened with the weather a week ago. And for folks still sitting in the darkness, I feel for you. It's a crap show. And it's frustrating, and it's aggravating, it's annoying, and it deserves the attention that you want it to have. And we're going to get into that today. Meantime, we're at Oakmont Bakery Live. And the reason why is that Oakmont Bakery wants to pay homage, show a little respect, give a little love to anyone out there who has worked and or is working on bringing power back to so many people. Anybody who comes out here today, anyone, free coffee, donuts, pastries, bagel, you name it. All right, check in, and we're here for you. Meanwhile, the worst comes out in us when situations like this occur, and the best comes out in us when situations like this occur. Some of this stuff, if you didn't hear it, you wouldn't believe it happened. But it did. And I got to play some of this because this started happening as folks got more and more aggravated and more annoyed and started going at each other because they didn't have power. And by the way, it happens to all of us. Full disclosure, my wife said to me yesterday, because we hadn't had power for a week, and you start getting aggravated and testy, and she doesn't, because she's perfect, and that's a whole other day and a whole other show. But the truth is, I get testy. My wife looks at me and says, I got to say something to you. Yes, dear. You've been angry. Yes, dear. Thank you for the clarity, honey. Now let's try to be happy, sitting here in the dark, day number 6. So, I want to play these clips because this is the most annoying aspect. This is the total failure of human nature, the breakdown of our society, when folks I know could never be teachers because they ain't got no class. Aaron, play clip number 1, please.
Sir, for a harassment call at Pennsylvania Bidwell, 1014 Sheffield Street. See the complaint there? This is for a male in an apartment. It's turning the caller's power off and invading her privacy. He's a 55-year-old black male in a wheelchair.
How about that? So here's what happened there. Can you imagine? First of all, person's in a wheelchair, and they have a generator running their lights, and some jagoff, and I mean that in the nicest way, decides the best way to treat her is to turn off her generator. And so that's what they did time and time again because their neighbor had power and they didn't. Jag off, number 1. Number 2, listen to this clip.
Can you check the area of South Crest Drive at Pioneer Avenue? Caller reporting someone is stretching extension cords across the road.
So that's jag off number 2. because they want power. They're deciding to get power by running extension cords illegally and dangerously across the road. So again, this is how this thing devolved when the worst of us comes out during the most difficult times. When you expect kindness and gratitude and patience and understanding, we all have a tipping point. Those are mildly annoying. It got really ugly in Pittsburgh Saturday. Listen to this. This is crazy.
Can you start towards 1109 Fuente Street, intersecting Rhine? Duquesne Light was working here, and a group of people were throwing rocks at them, and one person had a gun in their waistband. There is a downed wire in the area, which is why they were out there.
Aaron, do me a favor. Play that again so people understand what happened in America, and in particular in Pittsburgh, and more in particular in the city. Listen to this crap.
Can you start towards 1109 Fuente Street, intersecting Rhine? Duquesne Light was working here, and a group of people were throwing rocks at them, and one person had a gun in their waistband. There is a downed wire in the area, which is why they were out there.
Is this as good as it gets? When people decide that acting like an animal is the best way to act. When people decide that, who the hell decides that I'm going to throw rocks at Duquesne Light? Honestly, who decides that's the way to manage this sort of thing? By the way, good for the cops. They responded in force and were there to protect. To imagine that you have to protect Duquesne Light workers doing their damn job. Listen to the final clip here.
3182.
182.
Keep 3130 able on this for now. Duquesne Light is calling their supervisor. They're either going to need 3130 able to sit up there with them for a little bit, or they're going to leave the area completely and we won't need anyone.
One more time, Aaron, so people understand the ignorance out there.
3182.
182.
Keep 3130 able on this for now. Duquesne Light is calling their supervisor. They're either going to need 3130 able to sit up there with them for a little bit, or they're going to leave the area completely and we won't need anyone.
Can you imagine? First of all, you're a Duquesne Light worker. You've been working 12 to 16-hour shifts, I don't know, about a week now. Killing it. I mean, they've been killing it. The workload is intense. And the anger, and the angst, and the animus is pervasive. However, to imagine that the morons acting like animals, this is in the Spring Hill area of the city, decided that this is the way to manage this crisis, is disgusting and vile and despicable. I'll tell you what, if I was a supervisor with Duquesne Light, you know what I'd say? Let them heat their house. Let them turn on the lights in their house with a bag of rocks, because they can kiss my... I would tell my people, in order to protect their safety, pack it in. There is no way in hell that one of my people is getting hit in the head with a rock. There is no way in hell that one of my people is getting shot while they're trying. Think about this. Think of the context, folks. They were trying to turn the power on in the Spring Hill neighborhood of the city of Pittsburgh. They were trying to help people get power. And the people in that neighborhood decided to grab their guns and rocks to throw them at the Duquesne Light workers and to threaten their lives and safety. Think about the math. Think about the math. Think about that. Think about the idiocy of that. Think about the dynamic of that. Think of what the hell's going on in America, and ask yourself the question, is this as good as it gets? And I would say, hell no. We're live at Oakmont Bakery, folks. We'll be right back. From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen Gamble, what's up?
All right, thanks, Marty. The rush hour has really cleared up in a lot of spots, and that's nice, even with the early morning foggy start. But we do have a few delays in just a couple of spots. Parkway West is one of them, heavy right around that Parkway Center Mall on-ramp before the Fort Pitt tunnels. Outbound toward the airport, I hope that's your ride. It is a good one so far this morning. Parkway East inbound, just a minor slowdown between Edgewood, Swissvale, and the Squirrel Hill tunnels. Wanted to remind you that you might find some slowdowns around a mobile single-lane restriction. And this is in Franklin Park, Borough, and Marshall Township today. So along Interstate 79, you'll get the attention of the survey crews. They'll be working between the I-79-279 split and the Pennsylvania Turnpike exit number 77. They could be out there until about 2 p.m. today, so watch for the slowdowns around that. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Progressive knows road trips without your pet can be tough.
Hi, this is Next Stop Dog Boarding.
Hi, it's Scott again. How's Squeaks doing? You can tell if he's stressed by his eyebrows. Oh, and his breathing should sound like this.
Scott, Squeaks is exactly the same as last time you called.
Okay, let's talk in 20 to see if anything's changed.
With Progressive, your pet is covered up to $1,000 in vet bills in case of a car accident. So next up.
We are going to be back around 10:20, 10:21.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
With the purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms.
Lowe's helps refresh your garden in time for Mother's Day. Right now, get 5 bags of 1.5 cubic foot Scott's Naturescapes mulch for just $10. Plus, select 1.5 gallon annuals hanging baskets make the perfect gift. Now 2 for only $15. The best garden starts with great deals. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 5/7. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase.
Hey folks, it's Marty. Turning 65, are you overwhelmed by Medicare options? With over 60 plans to choose from, it's easy to get confused. MediConnect is hosting free in-person workshops across Pittsburgh for answers you need. No obligation, just advice. Whether you have questions about coverage, prescriptions, retirement goals, MediConnect's team will assist in finding the right plan for you. Call 888-818-6334. 888-818-6334. Medicare made simple.
Don't keep putting it off. Ignoring home repairs won't make them go away. If it's drafty windows, overflowing gutters, rotted trim, or that dreaded leaking roof, PJ Fitzpatrick can take care of your home repair project right now and save you thousands of dollars before it turns into costly structural damage. This is the time to call the home repair experts at PJ Fitzpatrick. No job too big or too small. They'll fix it right the first time. Visit trustpj.com. That's trustpj.com.
Hey folks, NASCO Roofing, the region's roofing leader, continues to exceed customer expectations. Carol from Pittsburgh praised NASCO Roofing for their quality workmanship and the timely manner NASCO completed her new roof. She loved how friendly and easy NASCO Roofing was to work with. NASCO has satisfied thousands like Carol. Get NASCO on your roof next. Call NASCO Roofing, 412-373-2000. 412-373-2000. Most jobs done in a day. Special financing available. NASCO Roofing. NASCO.
Honey, I found the perfect place for my parents and us.
Where?
St. Barnabas. For us, the Woodlands Carriage Home Community. And for my parents, condominium-style living at the Village. My folks will love the Village. There's an indoor mall with shops, restaurants, and more. And we can relax, knowing they're safe and secure.
That's what I plan to do when we move to St. Barnabas. Relax.
Call 724-444-5568 or visit stbarnabascommunities.com.
But Perry Calder, when it matters most, contact Perry Calder Law.
Lagina Drapery and Blind Factory, 60-plus years as the area's best and most trusted name for all types of custom window treatments. Family operated for 3 generations. Low factory direct prices. 412-665-40.
All right, coming back in 30 seconds.
$1 million for the family of a steelworker who died from asbestos-related lung cancer. Another $3.8 million for the family of a steelworker with mesothelioma. These are just a few case results that Pittsburgh-based law firm Goldberg, Persky, and White have been able to get for their clients. They can do the same for you. If you're suffering from lung cancer or mesothelioma, contact GPW for a free consultation at 1-800-COMPLEX or gpwlaw.com.
Hey, you want to give your bathroom a fresh, luxurious upgrade? My friends Nick and Larry at Boulevard Glass and Metal, they designed custom glass shower doors that bring elegance and style to any bathroom. Sleek, frameless designs to custom finishes, they do all of it. Enjoy shower doors that fit your style and space perfectly. Durable, easy to clean, and built to last. Your dream bathroom, it starts here. Visit BoulevardGlassandMetal.com for that free consultation. A stunning shower is just a call away.
My boy is back. Jim Toten, Toten's Diner. Great breakfast, great lunch, big portions, great pricing, great staff. Jim and Joanne are running an amazing joint. Check it out. Toten's Diner, Route 19, Perry Highway.
Where Pittsburgh comes to talk. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Live at Oakmont Bakery. Aaron, do me a favor, please. Cue up the third clip I sent you. The mic is popping, yes. We're fixing it. Cue up the third piece of sound I sent you from the Spring Hill. Fantastic Duquesne Light employee in here getting some donuts and coffee and for taking care of people. Thank you, Duquesne Light. Please play that clip. This is yesterday morning, 8:30, Spring Hill area, Pittsburgh. This is what people decided to do with Duquesne Light, trying to help them get their lights on. Listen to this.
Can you start towards 1109 Puente Street, intersecting Rhine? Duquesne Light was working here, and a group of people were throwing rocks at them, and one person had a gun in their waistband. There is a downed wire in the area, which is why they were out there.
Play the next one, please. Thanks.
3182.
182.
Keep 3130 able on this for now. Duquesne Light is calling their supervisor. They're either going to need 3130 able to sit up there with them for a little bit, or they're going to leave the area completely and we won't need anyone.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that this is how people in Pittsburgh respond to Duquesne Light trying to give them electricity? Throwing rocks at the workers and pulling out guns. You know, they should have arrested everybody out there, told Duquesne Light to go home, and for those folks, put a big banner up. You're on your own. It's so disgusting. It's so despicable. And it's so disheartening that this is how we manage crisis in a Pittsburgh neighborhood. And you wonder why people get disgusted. I don't know what to say. Live at Oakmont Bakery today with someone who's been through this weather nightmare, yet has rebounded and has stepped up and said, let's help people. Let's do something special. Marc Serrao, good morning, brother.
Morning, Marty.
By the way, I mentioned that my wife told me that I was angry, and she's right. When you lose your power for a week, when you lose your business and lose tens of thousands of dollars, we're not infallible. We crack. You feel the pressure, do you not, sir?
Yes.
And it's very tough to manage you, for instance, with several hundred employees, with millions of dollars worth of equipment, and tens of thousands of dollars worth of goods spoiling by the minute, right?
Yes.
And so you lost power for a period of time where you lost a significant amount of money.
Yes, and we don't know yet what the insurance will cover. I'm hoping that it covers everything. I called my insurance broker, and he said it just depends on, when your insurance kicks in. Sometimes for a power outage, it kicks in 24 hours after it starts, which for us, we were out of power for 23 hours and 46 minutes.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, we were very happy when it came back on, and we loved Duquesne Light. And I know that some people didn't have power in their homes for a lot longer than that. My wife and I actually, when our power goes out at home and not at the bakery, we thank God that he turned it off at our homes instead of the bakery.
It's unbelievable. The storm was massive, and the damage was crazy, was it not, out here?
Yeah, absolutely.
And the cleanup effort was stupendous. They did a hell of a job.
They really did.
Which is why you wanted to step up today, is it not, sir?
Yep.
It makes sense to you to help people that help others, does it not?
Yes. And these guys, their jobs are dangerous. They're in hazardous situations. There's on Halton Road, there was a massive tree across the road with wires entangled all through it. And I was scared looking at it, thinking about people, walking through there. And, but these guys, they know what they're getting into, but they're still putting their life on the line when they go into a situation like that. I think it's amazing.
And as a result of that, you want to take care of anyone that comes in today that was helping with that crisis.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
You got bagels for folks who don't like donuts, pastries.
Who doesn't like donuts, but yeah.
And this entire town, I know my man JK lost eight restaurants. And a lot of folks, is everybody back?
Yes, I believe all the business district is back. Yes.
And you mentioned something about insurance. Is it recovery insurance? Is that what it's called? Or
I really don't know.
You don't?
I don't know.
But do you have to file a claim, or how's it work?
Yeah. So when I called my broker, they didn't have power or internet service yet, so he wasn't able to look at our policy. Every insurance company, their policies read differently.
Really? So you're waiting.
We're waiting.
Meanwhile, you're back in business, but you still have people in here repairing stuff today.
Yeah, so our generator was 95% complete.
Oh, my.
We've been working on it for 9 months.
Whoa.
And it was 95% complete. So when the power went out, we had the company came in and they jump-started it. But it wasn't able to run the way it was supposed to run. So today they're finishing the rest of the hookups.
Marc Serrao, thank you for being you. Thank you for taking care of this community, and I appreciate you doing this today, brother.
Thank you, Marty.
There are some state leaders who are fed up with the performance of Duquesne Light and the other First Energy Company, and they're raising hell about it. And there's a PUC report for those who feel as if Duquesne Light is being wrongfully blamed that suggests that the utility workers aren't doing as much as they should be doing. We'll address that report, and we'll talk to the state leader next.
Brian Adams, Roll with the Punches Tour 2025. A night full of hits. Live at PPG Paints Arena, November 2nd. With special guest Pat Benatar and Neil Giraldo. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com.
Pringles, pop. Following heartwarming yet informative. Create a state-specific, legally valid document that actually counts. Now, let's let the engine do the talking, am I right? Start your will at trustandwill.com. Use offer code COUNT for 20% off and make it count. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. For details, see trustandwill.com.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hoped it'd go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Loyalty has its rewards at your neighborhood Parmar store. See for yourself. Download the Parmar Stores app today and find deals, coupons, and earn points to get free groceries. Dan Zangrilli reminding you that if there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
59, mostly cloudy skies. At 10:30, I'm Paul Rasmussen. A wet weekend is behind us, but there isn't dry weather ahead, unfortunately. Jason Frazier with the National Weather Service says today's forecast is pretty much the same as yesterday's.
So we have the potential.
Hey, Marty.
Aaron's talking to you.
Marty, do you it says Oakmont Bakery live. Do you want to do that after the news, like a 30-second spot?
Yeah, sure.
of the recalls. The other involves Williams Farm repack tomatoes. Now, the FDA says no illnesses have been reported, and it recommends consumers throw out the tomatoes or
No, I'm not seeing a quote live.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
tariff on movies produced overseas.
Other nations, a lot of them, have stolen our movie industry.
Now, the president blames tax incentives from other nations for drawing production away from U.S. locations. American films are often shot and produced in multiple nations for business reasons or location authenticity. For example, America's top-grossing film so far this year is a Minecraft movie made in New Zealand and Canada.
This beautiful world and everything in it will wither and die.
The film took in almost $400 million here. U.S. films often make the biggest profit in overseas markets. That makes them vulnerable in a tariff trade war. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 57 points now at 41,261. The Nasdaq down 135 points, and the S&P is down 34. KDKA Radio News Time, 10:31. Our next update at 11 on the Voice of Pittsburgh, News Radio KDKA.
They call him Even Stevens for a reason. For a decade, Judge Craig Stevens delivered fair, balanced justice on the bench, presiding over 50,000 cases and serving more than 100 communities as a district judge. He's highly recommended by the Allegheny County Bar Association for his integrity, temperament, and experience. When you want a judge who's even, fair, and right down the middle, remember Even Stevens. Vote Judge Craig Stevens for Court of Common Pleas, number 20 on the ballot in the primary on May 20th.
Paid for by the committee to elect Craig Stevens.
Progressive knows road trips without your pet can be tough.
Hi, this is Next Stop Dog Boarding.
Hi, it's Scott again. How's Squeaks doing? You can tell if he's stressed by his eyebrows. Oh, and his breathing should sound like this.
Scott, Squeaks is exactly the same as last time you called.
Okay, let's talk in 20 to see if anything's changed.
With Progressive, your pet is covered up to $1,000 in vet bills in case of a car accident. So next time, you can take your pet with you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Covered.
Okay, Marty, in about 30 seconds, you can do your Oakmont.
Fresh your garden in time for Mother's Day. Right now, get 5 bags of 1.5 cubic foot Scott's Naturescapes mulch for just $10. Plus, select 1.5 gallon annuals hanging baskets make the perfect gift. Now 2 for only $15. The best garden starts with great deals. Low.
All right, 5 seconds.
5-7. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase.
This is what makes Oakmont Bakery great. This is the magnificence. First of all, a woman comes up to us a couple minutes ago. True story. We're live here today. Says, wow, this place rocks. We're from North Carolina. We need one of these there. It's that kind of joint. And the beauty is they suffered a lot of damage from that storm. Yet they stepped up today and providing free donuts, coffee, pastries, and bagels. That's Oakmont Bakery. Amazing. Hey, folks, it's Marty. Medicare.
Thank you.
Rules, costs, and deadlines. Are you making the right choice for your future? Join MediConnect's free live webinars from the comfort of your home. No pressure, just clear, helpful information. Learn about Medicare, Parts A and B, how to avoid penalties, and if Medicare Advantage or supplement is right for you. Get peace of mind. Register for the webinar by calling 888-818-6334. MediConnectInsurance.com. MediConnect. Medicare made simple. Hey, folks, Marty here. Just talked to my boy, JK, the king of Oakmont restaurants. The Lot. Have you tried it? Best breakfast you'll ever have. Carnivores. Unbelievable wings. The Pub. Woo! The hamburgers. And how about Hofstadt's? The Italian is magnificent. So you got The Lot, Carnivores, The Pub, Hofstadt's. Every single one, the highest quality, the best food. Check them all out in Oakmont. UPMC, life-changing, life-saving medicine. I live it. From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic powered by Bowser. Ellen, what's up, my friend?
All right, thanks, Marty. We're getting reports of a couple of accidents on Route 65, Ohio River Boulevard. So one is at the intersection with Millerton, which is actually a little bit closer to the intersection with the McKees Rocks Bridge. just a couple of blocks away, also getting reports of an accident on 65 Ohio River Boulevard at the intersection with Kendall Avenue. So we have slow traffic in both directions as you travel there, basically between the McKees Rocks Bridge and Bellevue Westview. So do keep that in mind. Elsewhere, the rush hour has eased off considerably. Just minor delays entering the Fort Pitt and Squirrel Hill tunnels on the parkways west and east, respectively. If the Sewickley Bridge is part of your travels this week, plan for delays around a single alternating lane of traffic on that span each day, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. between Route 65 and Route 51, and that is for bridge inspection. AAA traffic on the 5s from the iParkit app. Download iParkit and save on parking. I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Sun the rest of today. There can be a shower, even a couple of strong thunderstorms this afternoon and early tonight that can produce downpours, hail, and gusty winds. The high today, 73. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM at AM 1020 KDKA.
The easiest way to park in uptown and downtown Pittsburgh is to download iParkit. When you use iParkit, you're guaranteed the best prices at the most convenient parking garages for game day, theaters, work, or play. From uptown to downtown, iParkit has you covered. Download iParkit and save.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Hey, it's a Monday. We're back off of marathon weekend. I didn't run the marathon, but you know what I will do today? I'll give away some more AC/DC tickets, and we'll talk about everything. Can't wait to talk to you 2 to 6 today. Colin Dunlap, right here, KDK.
Week without power, people start to snap. It's just the truth. They lose it. And they're complaining about the utility companies. For those who suggest that Duquesne Light and First Energy are infallible, you're wrong. We're all subject to public scrutiny. It's the game. It's the way we live. And for those who suggest that I was errant in criticizing Duquesne Light, if those people with the low IQs would listen to the show rather than just muse about nothingness, they would realize I did not criticize the workers. I criticized their media people because they have not been on this station one time. And that I have the right to do. However, there is also very detailed reporting that's factual, not just conjecture. The Public Utility Commission reported that Duquesne Light's average time to respond to a crisis like we're experiencing right now, 24% longer than the standard. That's a Public Utility Commission report. And First Energy's response is 31% longer. Also, First Energy failed the standards for outage frequency and outage duration over time. Okay? What I'm suggesting is the facts are clear that they have to do better. They're being challenged right now. They're being pushed to the limit right now. They're kicking ass right now. But the facts are clear. They have to do better, like I have to do better, like we all have to do better. And if you're living in darkness, you've had enough. As is made very clear by State Representative Mandy Steele. Mandy, good morning. How are you?
I'm good today. How are you?
Well, I could argue that you're not good. You've had enough.
Well,
your constituents have had enough, and collectively, they're ready to snap. Is that fair?
I'll tell you what. The truth is, we're exhausted here. People are on day 7 of no power. People who are dependent upon electricity to power medical devices, and we have constituents who are on septic systems who haven't been able to flush their toilets since last Tuesday. There are power lines in the roads. There are trees everywhere. It is not easy here right now.
It's hell. It's hell on earth. Tell our listeners who you represent. What area, Mandy?
I'm State Representative Mandy Steele, and I represent the 33rd District. That extends from Sharpsburg straight up the Allegheny River all the way up to the end of the county, up to Harrison, Natrona Heights, Brackenridge, Trenton, and dips in all the way to Fawn and Fraser. So it's about 70,000 people. We have West Penn Power here, and we have Duquesne Light. And what's been interesting is that you were just discussing that report from the PUC. In this district, West Penn Power had constituents restored faster than Duquesne Light. Duquesne Light, we still have several thousand without power here, and West Penn is nearly complete restoration in this district.
Have you been able to make any headway with them in terms of any timeline, them taking any responsibility for not responding as quickly as they should?
You know, they're as far as, you know, discussing the response and the failures where they happen, we're not at that point yet. They're still trying to get power restored actively. The linemen and women who are out there are doing a phenomenal job. You know, they're going on you know, in some cases working nearly around the clock, and they're strong, and we're so grateful for them. However, here's my frustration with the electricity providers. It's a couple of things. Number one, the weather forecasters, including the United States Army Corps of Engineers, have been telling us that these storms are going to happen more frequently and that the storms will become more severe. So there was ample notice that we were going to experience this kind of thunderstorm. And it was bad. It was a bad storm, and it was widespread, but it could have been way worse. And then what would happen? Then would we have millions? I mean, because we had 500,000 without a power on Tuesday. Would it have been 1 million? How many lives would have been lost? So, you know, the planning has got to be better, and it's going to happen, and we need to make sure that they're held responsible for this. And then the second point of frustration for me is that I hear from, I was without power for 7 days. I do have my power back today. Right. But the communication from the electricity providers was abysmal.
Horrible.
I wanted to hear from my providers twice a day. I wanted an update twice a day. Now, as state representative, I got more updates than you know, constituents who are not state representatives. But even still, it wasn't enough. And you know, they've got to be communicating when power's out like this for multiple days at a time. It's just got to be communicating with people and keeping them informed.
We can't get them on the phone. We can't get them on the air.
Yeah.
And I know they're slammed. Yeah. Get in line, but at the end of the day, they have a responsibility to communicate on a regular basis what the hell is going on. They have diminished numbers because of retirements, and they didn't hire people. They have diminished capacity because of equipment losses and staffing losses. And the PUC report says they don't do their business as fast as they should. You plan on taking this to the next level with hearings, do you not?
I do. So I serve on the Consumer Affairs Committee in Pennsylvania. I'm a member of that committee, and this is something that we plan to look at. I'm also currently the acting chair and normally the vice chair of the Pennsylvania House Committee on Energy. So I feel well equipped to address this in Harrisburg. It's definitely something we need to look at. And the state wants to be a good partner to these providers, but we just can't have a response like this again. So we're going to take testimony from the key players, and we're going to figure out how to make sure that they have a better plan in place for next time, because we know this is going to happen again, and we've got to make sure that.
What irritates me is that you're the bad guy because you're complaining. What irritates me is I'm the bad guy because I'm complaining. No, we're telling the truth.
Yeah.
And the PUC report lines it up. They don't do what they should do, and they don't do it fast enough, and they don't do it well enough, and they have to do better. We all have to do better. Introspection and self-critique and analysis is what makes us perform at a higher level, whether you're a talk host, a state leader, or a line worker. Is that not true, Representative?
That's right. We've just got to very closely examine this. Again, we know there have got to be opportunities for improvement. Duquesne Light wants to restore power. It's not that Duquesne Light and West Penn Power don't want to restore power to people. They do, and so they're looking for opportunities to improve as well. So the hearing will help identify those and put them in place. I'm out today, about to set out here to deliver hot meals and water to people who are still without power. And I know a lot of them have been listening to you and appreciated your coverage, so thank you for that.
Hey, have one of your people take a video and send it to me so we can post it. I think it's magnificent what you're doing. And thanks for caring and stepping up. You don't mind criticism, it creates change. Thank you.
Okay, same to you. Take care. Thank you. Bye.
Truth is, Duquesne Light folks are working their asses off. But as I've said about other entities, they're playing 11-man football with 7 men, and that doesn't work. From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen, what's up?
All right, thanks, Marty. We do have a couple of places where we have slowdowns. Parkway West inbound, just a slowdown right around the Banksville on-ramp before the inbound Fort Pitt tunnels. Traffic has eased up for you, though. Behind the Liberty tunnels, less than traffic light delays for you there. Parkway East inbound and outbound, a little bit sluggish for you right around the mouth of the Squirrel Hill tunnels. If you're heading southbound toward town on the Parkway North, I-279, we have some construction zone lane restrictions that are causing delays for you in the East Street Valley as you try to then make your way up onto the Veterans Bridge into the Crosstown Expressway area. You'll find some slow traffic there. A couple of accidents for you on Route 65, Ohio River Boulevard, as you are traveling between the Bellevue area and the McKees Rocks Bridge. Traffic is slow in both directions there. Definitely need to leave some extra time. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Lunch was great. Lawrenceville is such a fun spot.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
Did you know that now you can listen to all your favorite stations, including this one, shows and even podcasts, all on the Odyssey app? Download it now.
UPMC saved my life. No, they did. They really did. And right now, they're fighting to save my sister's life. Cancer, too. Right now. The doctors, the nurses, they will do anything at any time to help you to live and to thrive. It's a magnificent, magnificent philosophy. UPMC, life-changing, life-saving medicine. Hey, folks, it's Marty. All the time I'm talking about auto accidents, big crashes, big wrecks. Call 1-800-GET-PHIL or 412-281-5005. Look, Phil DeLucente and Associates, they're in Pittsburgh. They give free, that's right, free consultations. Phil and Ken Nolan, his partner, handle auto cases. I've worked with them a lot. So call 1-800-GET-PHIL. Call Ken Nolan and Phil DeLucente now at 1-800-GET-PHIL today. They're the best, folks.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Trust and Will knows that we'll all eventually need a will. How about right now? Trust and Will makes creating your will easy, like while you're lounging on the couch easy. Trust and Will is designed by attorneys but customized by you, and all documents are state-specific and secure. Find your plan at trustandwill.com and use offer code RADIO now for 20% off. That's trustandwill.com, offer code RADIO. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Hey, folks, Marty Griffin. It's May. It's spring. It's window time. Universal Windows Direct window time. Check out this amazing deal. Right now, you'll get an incredible 50% off your windows. Whoa. Half off. And check this out. Not a single payment. Not one payment. No interest for 12 months. Universal Windows Direct. Amazing quality, amazing service. 412-545-6003.
Here's your Jill on Money question of the day.
Spencer from Seattle asks, I'm 51 and my wife is 52. Together we earn $320,000 a year. We have $600,000 in pre-tax 401ks, and I will eventually have a pension that will pay at least $90,000 per year. Should we go fully Roth? Spencer, given that you've got that big chunk of pre-tax money that you've already saved, plus that big pension in your future, I think I would make that switch to a Roth. Come retirement, I think you'll be glad to have a great mix of assets, including a pot of money that would not be subject to any taxes.
Have a question? Go to JillOnMoney.com.
And now, a no-frills ad brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Here it is. You could save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. That's it. See? Just a good old-fashioned, straightforward ad. See if you could save at Progressive.com.
The 50,000-watt voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Live at Oakmont Bakery this morning. Mark texted me Friday, said, let's do this, man. Let's step up and help folks that helped others during this recovery process from this storm. I see utility workers coming in, first responders, coffee, donuts, pastries, free for you folks today. Just let them know. Love it. It's a hell of a gesture. I want to play these clips again because I think it's important that folks hear this, because people start to melt down during these crises. Play these clips. Play the first two, please, Aaron.
Sir, for a harassment call at Pennsylvania Bidwell, 1014 Sheffield Street. See the complaint there. This is for a male in an apartment. He's turning the caller's power off and invading her privacy. He's a 55-year-old black male in a wheelchair.
So this is how people decide to treat people. In the middle of this madness, and a woman in a wheelchair. Play the second one, please.
Can you check the area of South Crest Drive at Pioneer Avenue? Caller reporting someone is stretching extension cords across the road.
That's just ignorant. It's ignorant. Folks are ignorant. But here's the two that really, really got to me, and that's why I'm playing them again. Thank you, Aaron. Play that, please.
Can you start towards 1109 Puente Street, intersecting Rhine? Duquesne Light was working here, and a group of people were throwing rocks at them, and one person had a gun in their waistband. There is a downed wire in the area, which is why they were out there.
Sickening. Lowlifes. One more, please, Aaron. Thank you.
3182.
182.
Keep 3130 able on this for now. Duquesne Light is calling their supervisor. They're either going to need 3130 able to sit up there with them for a little bit, or they're going to leave the area completely and we won't need anyone.
So Pittsburgh cops flooded the zone and had to sit there with their guns and protect Duquesne Light folks trying to restore power to the idiots in that neighborhood. Sickening. Pittsburgh scanner, Mike Fisher, my brother. This is a new low, sir, is it not?
Marty Griffin, good morning. Yeah, that made me actually mad. I'm usually non-reactive to the scanner, but man, that really ticked me off.
Yeah, I mean, stuff happens and folks get stressed. But to put cops in harm's way and utility workers in harm's way who are trying to help you is despicable, is it not, sir?
Oh, it's grade A jag-off behavior, Marty. Put it this way. I heard this too after I got power, and I went outside, and I was like, thanks, guys. And you're like, yeah. Yep. There was a moment, and yet these jackals are off helping the people who've been working for a week straight, 12, probably more than 12-hour shifts, to get them power back, and they're messing with them. Get the heck out of here.
People do ignorant things, man, when they're pushed to the limit. But this is beyond ignorant. You are jeopardizing the safety of both utility workers and cops. They should have arrested a handful of those people and set an example. When are we going to learn? I just don't know, Mike. Do you?
Hey, I have no idea, but at least on the brighter side, at least in my community, we're all outside talking with each other because we haven't had power in 6 days. We're reconnecting with each other. We're having a good time. We're connecting. It was actually for a horrible situation, it's a pleasant experience. yet we see the opposite side of humanity, and it's that nonsense.
Thought the same thing in
That's
my
what
house.
burns me.
We sat there and talked. We told stories. We lit candles. We managed it. But again, when you have folks thinking the way to respond to folks trying to turn their power on is guns and rocks, you got to look at our culture and our society in whole. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you, my man.
Yep. Go up here.
Aaron, grab a call for me, please. Appreciate you. Who do we have here?
You have Van on for you.
My man, Van.
What's up, OG? How you?
Good, man.
It's hard being your friend, Marty. You getting cussed on my phone, and I'm getting cussed for being your friend this morning.
Okay. I appreciate the criticism, and I took down the post, and I love you. Thank you, Van. Thank you. He was complaining because of a post on Facebook. This is the irony of the world we live in. We showed an unidentifiable person, unidentified, I promise you, back to the camera, back to the audience, sleeping at the marathon when they were hired to protect folks. And folks calling me a racist, saying that I was attacking the community. A photograph of a man with security on his back, sleeping during the marathon, and I'm the bad guy, and I exposed a team. There is no way in hell you can tell me who that is from 50 yards away with his back to us. Spare me. But at the end of the day, because Van is my man, I took it down. It's amazing to me the outrage over folks going nuts over an unidentified person in a picture sleeping at the marathon and had not one word to say about people throwing rocks at utility workers. Isn't it amazing? However, because Zeke is my man, I took it down. Moving on. We'll be right back.
Honored to win the Marconi Award as the best news talk station in the country. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Savings at Coons Market. Isn't that right, Frank Dentisi?
Right, Rob. Save with your Coons Reward Card. USDA Grade A frozen whole turkey breast, 99 cents a pound. Whole seedless watermelons, $3.99 each. And selected varieties of on-the-border tortilla chips, 8 to 11.5-ounce bags, $1.88 each. Additional savings in our meat department. All natural, fresh, boneless chicken tenders, $2.99 a pound. And USDA Choice PA Angus beef brisket flats are $7.99 a pound. In our produce department, sweet flavor Roma tomatoes, 99 cents a pound. And fresh southern sweet corn, 6 for $3. In our deli, Cinco de Mayo street tacos, 3-count package, $4.99 each. In our bakery, fresh baked 8-inch blueberry pies, $7 each. And this week, selected varieties of Kraft chunk or shredded cheese, 7 to 8-ounce packages, 2 for $5.
So get into the spring shower of savings underway right now at your neighborhood grocer, Coons Market, that special place in your neighborhood. Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition.
Hi, Paul Alexander here with an opportunity for you to lose 40 by the 4th. Yes, pounds. I dropped my 35 pounds with Awaken 180 in just 6.5 weeks. There's no reason you can't set your goal to 40 or more by the 4th. Set the goal and reach it at awaken180weightloss.com.
While you sleep, there are people you've never met who are working hard to make your morning. People who get up at ungodly hours to make sure you get the information you want while you sleep. People who dedicate their lives to make yours better while you sleep. These people come together during the Big K Morning Show with Larry Richard, 5:30 to 10 in the morning, to make sure you have the best news, traffic, and weather to start your day. Wake up to your friends, weekday mornings on the Voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
I have known Bob Tootie, who started Tootie Mechanical since I was in high school. We've been friends for 45 years. Tootie Mechanical is the best HVAC company in America. No exaggeration. The best service, the best experts, the best equipment, and the best pricing. And they treat you like they would treat their own family. Tootie Mechanical, 412-771-4100.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
63, mostly cloudy skies at 11 o'clock. I'm Paul Rasmussen. Over 19,000 Duquesne Light customers are without service this morning. That's down from about 23,000 when we started. More than 13,000 of the outages right now in Pittsburgh itself. The utility estimates restoration of service to all customers by tomorrow night at 11 p.m., but they also say all communities serviced by Duquesne in Beaver County and many in Allegheny County the southeastern part of Allegheny County, should be back online today by 12:30 p.m. Penn Power has about 500 outages right now in Westmoreland and Butler counties. In the wake of last week's storm, a state representative says conditions in her district are not safe. Mandy Steele shared her assessment with KDKA-TV.
There are downed wires and trees all over the roads in our neighborhoods. We are reaching a point of incredible urgency.
Steele is the acting chair of the State House Committee on Energy, plans to schedule a hearing in Harrisburg. People impacted by the storm and utility companies will both be called to testify. Steele said she's frustrated with the speed of restoration, wants to hold, as she puts it, power companies accountable. The Trump administration, this note just in, says it will pay immigrants in the United States illegally $1,000 to go home. More on that story coming up at 11:30. Calvin Crew, the man found guilty of first-degree murder for killing an Uber driver in 2022, has been sentenced today to a mandatory term of life in prison. The jury deliberated less than an hour before returning a guilty verdict in February. Crew was seen on video holding a gun to Christina Spicuzza's head before killing the mother of four. Up to 2.5 inches of rain fell in places over the weekend, with another day of precipitation ahead before finally a transition to drier weather.
The system that's been causing all of this is going to start to actually finally exit through the day tomorrow into Wednesday, so we're going to see eventually a reprieve from all of this.
Jason Frazier, with the National Weather Service, says the possibility of severe weather will end late in the week. Starting Wednesday, Pennsylvanians will need a real ID or a passport to board a domestic commercial flight or enter a federal building. News Radio KDKA's Rob Taylor has more for those who have less than 48 hours to act.
Today is the last Real ID Day that PennDOT is holding before the deadline, where one can go in and get their Real ID the same day. In our area, those locations include the Bridgeville Driver's License Center on Washington Pike and the Beaver Falls location on Constitution Boulevard. They're open until 4:15 this afternoon. Normally, these locations are closed on Mondays. Be sure to bring one document proving your identity, one document proving your Social Security number, and 2 documents proving your Pennsylvania residency. Rob Taylor, News Radio, KDKA.
A passerby discovered human remains Sunday in a wooded area off of I-70 in the city of Washington. The coroner's office says the death does not appear to be suspicious, and it is being investigated by Washington police. Also, a woman was in critical condition after being hit by a pickup truck Sunday morning in Stowe Township. The GMC struck the woman around 10:15 a.m. in the 2100 block of Robinson Boulevard. The driver, police say, stayed at the scene. On Wall Street, the Dow is now up 48 points at 41,365. The Nasdaq down 86. The S&P is down 19. KDKA Sports, the Pirates start a 3-game series with the Cardinals tonight in St. Louis. Carmen Blajinski starts for the Bucks. The news is brought to you by PJ Fitzpatrick. Need a new roof or just want to repair a small leak? Trust PJ.com. KDKA Radio News Time, 11:04. Confused about Medicare? One Health Benefits help you select the best Medicare plan to fit your needs. Call One Health Benefits, 724-799-8873. 63, mostly cloudy skies in Pittsburgh. AAA traffic and AccuWeather. Next.
This is Les Botkin of Botkin Family Wealth Management. Back in the 90s, I left my job as director of golf at Nevillewood to run a new golf course in Virginia. After that course opened, I was fired. I'd uprooted my family, and at 46, I was unemployed. My wife's brother offered me work at his biotech company in North Carolina.
Okay, Marty, you can do in 40 seconds. Is that good for you, or do you want...
It was humbling, but in time, with hard work and the encouragement of my wife Barb, I became successful in my life's new chapter. The day my children and I opened the doors to our family business was one of the best of my life. Most overnight successes take a long time. Mine certainly did. Learn more at botkinfamilywealth.com.
Securities.
All right, right now.
For FINRA SIPC.
We have a friend, graduated from high school, went to CCAC for 2 years, saved $100,000 plus, is now transferring to an Ivy League school. I'm not kidding. And those credits transfer. It's the magic of CCAC. And they'll prepare you for the jobs of the future. Cybersecurity, IT, gaming, and manufacturing, robotics, automation. Amazing. Visit ccac.edu.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for moms.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen Gamble, what's up?
All right, thanks, Marty. What's up is we have minimal delays, residuals from the rush hour, if you will. Gives us a chance to talk about a couple of accidents and then some construction. Right now in the East Hills, accident being cleared from Nimick Place at Haverhill Street. Also an accident being cleared from Ohio River Boulevard, Route 65 at Millerton Avenue. So that's between the McKees Rocks Bridge and Bellevue. Traffic is very heavy in both directions on 65 there. A big traffic note for your travels on the Parkway East overnights beginning tonight. Tonight at 9, weeknight closures of the outbound Parkway East will happen 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. right at the Birmingham Bridge. This is every weeknight through late May. There is a posted detour. You will definitely want to leave some extra time to navigate that. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Intervals of clouds and sun for the rest of today. A few places will see a shower. Many will see a couple of heavy, gusty thunderstorms during the course of the afternoon and early nighttime hours. They can produce hail, damaging winds, and downpours. The high 73. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's Window Nation semi-annual sale. Sale ends soon. Call 866-90Nation or visit windownation.com.
Leading with support and a proven commitment to public safety. Represent how Sheriff Kevin Krause effectively serves Allegheny County. Paul Martino here supporting the re-election of Allegheny County Sheriff Kevin Krause. Kevin's respect and trust from the labor community and unanimous endorsements by city, county and state, public safety, and first responders are key reasons to re-elect him as sheriff.
I'm Sheriff Kevin Krause. I'd be honored to earn your vote on May 20th.
Paid for by friends of Kevin Krause for sheriff.
It's Window Nation semi-annual sale. 60% off a house full of windows, a free entry door, and no money down, interest, or payments until 2027. Hurry, the sale ends soon. Call 866-90Nation or visit windownation.com today.
Pittsburgh's 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
What's up? Live at Oakmont Bakery. 15,000 roughly still without power, most of them in the city of Pittsburgh. They got jacked. Just did. Horrible. Very, very frustrating. We were out for a week, just got it back. Massive trees down. Massive. In our neighborhood. Some jagoff sending a note on social that I wasn't out cutting down the trees. No, I wasn't, sir. Arrest me. Someone sent me a note yesterday saying, how do you stand the criticism? I'm cool with it, man. Jagoffs are jagoffs. It's 1%. And the truth is, as we have scaled, and just as an example, we're getting tens of millions of folks coming to our videos and our sites and social media. Insane response to videos, 1.5 million to one video last week, 500,000 to a video I posted yesterday. So when that happens and you scale, as we say it in the business, you get the jagoffs. Good luck to you. But if the best you can do is, why isn't Marty Griffin cutting down the massive trees in his neighborhood? Knock your friggin' self out. All right? All right. Put your T-shirt on, take a shower, change your underwear, get out of your grandmother's basement, and go find a job. My best advice. Meantime, I had to grab my boy Carlos because for the folks working, I'm just a talk host taking social media critique from idiots. But for the folks working in this madness, it gets downright dangerous at times, as you heard in the last hour with grateful residents in Pittsburgh throwing rocks at Duquesne Light workers. Grateful residents in Pittsburgh pulling guns on Duquesne Light workers. By the way, there is kindness in this here at Oakmont Bakery today. Utility workers, first responders, anyone helping with this madness. Free donuts, free pastry, free bagels, free coffee, and it's delicious. I had to grab one of my boys, Carlos. Good morning, brother. How are you?
I'm good, Marty. How about yourself?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I am good friends with you. We're family. We're very similar people. Work ethic, family values, kick ass, move on. But you're out there working 16-hour days. Is that fair?
Yeah, I've been up at 4 o'clock every morning since that storm hit.
And you're cutting
And
trees.
my crews have been out there, office help. Everybody's doing over and above what we can do to help everybody out, you know, that has a tree in their house, on their property, getting just calls across the spectrum.
Okay, so Carlos is the best I've ever seen. That's why we're friends. But here's where I take umbrage with the morons out there. And look, people get angry. I get that, Carlos. But like the sound I played with idiots throwing rocks at utility workers and pulling guns on them, sometimes this outrage is beyond belief, is it not, sir? And you're seeing some of this.
Yeah, there's definitely a level of frustration out there with residents. We've been getting it. I mean, I got screamed at Friday by just about every customer that we were performing work for. You know, it was a little disheartening. You know, I've learned to bite my tongue, thank God. But I mean, it's just crazy how people think that they could just talk to somebody else without any hesitation, repercussion. You know, just to go off like that on somebody's crazy, in my opinion.
My man Carlos with Greater Pitt Tree Service. Hey, man, let's be clear. You were grateful as hell for the business. You were blessed to be able to work this much and make this kind of money. However, give us an example of some of the things people were saying to you as you just try to do your job and get their damn tree off their house.
Yeah, the majority of it is just thinking that we can get there quicker than we can. You know, we're not out knocking on doors, and people are calling us. Like, you called me, I sent a salesman out, we gave you a price, told you we can get to it in the next couple days. And they were happy then, but then as it sat and the frustration built, maybe their power was out or their gas was out or whatever the case is, then it just went the other direction with a portion of the customers, not all of them. But, you know, it's on top of what we're doing is mentally and physically exhausting, and then throw in, you know, mental abuse by customers. And, you know, it's just a complaint culture running rampant right now, and how society is. And, you know, Mike Tyson said it the best. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So many people, like, if you grew up talking like that and you got cracked in your mouth, then probably don't do it later on in life. But there's so many people out there that are content with talking to other people like that. And I didn't know they were doing that to the utility workers. I would just move on to the next house if I was them.
They need punch in the face, as Mike Tyson would say, sir.
Yeah, pretty much.
And look, I get it. We get annoyed. My wife said to me, "Are you angry?" I said, "Yeah, I am. However, the fact is the work is very difficult and it's very dangerous. And I know you're busy as hell, so before you go, because I saw old guys, older than me if that's possible, with amateur hour, with big chainsaws, looking very awkward, doing very dangerous jobs on massive trees, sir. Please give some advice about people taking this kind of work on right now.
I mean, that's just common sense. If there's nothing I can say at this point, if somebody's already doing it, it'll fall on deaf ears. But I will say about, the time it's taking for a lot of this to kind of get back to where it was before the storm hit. Our area is so challenging geographically, topographically, the age of it, the infrastructure. Like, everybody has their work cut out for them right now. I used to work hurricanes. Would pack up and go work hurricanes in areas, that those people there kind of know that they live in an area that a hurricane can hit. It's a little different. They're a little more prepared and understanding, and there's a little more warning when a hurricane's coming. You got it, you identify it out in the ocean, and you see it gain momentum and where it's going to hit, and you have time to prepare. There was no time to prepare for this storm, and we've had so many false calls with the forecast from the weathermen on, something like this that could have happened and it never did. So I don't think anybody really took it seriously or understood. It was hard to forecast, just how intense this storm was. And, it's a big surprise to everybody. It's going to take a while. I hate to break it to people, but it's not going to be anytime soon. If you're in an area that doesn't have power or can't get to you because of the trees, it's like, hold on tight. It's going to take a while to get there.
Carlos, my brother, Greater Pitt Tree Service, thanks for the truth, my man.
Talk to you later.
Be careful out there. When we come back, I got to talk Giant Eagle. I went there yesterday with my son. And I got to talk about the 15% off sale. And I got to talk about the angry people who wanted more and complained about 15% off. It's unbelievable. You got to hear this next. From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser, Ellen Gamble. What's up?
All right, thanks, Marty. As we look out over the area roads, we do have an accident continuing to be cleared from Ohio River Boulevard, Route 65 at Millerton Avenue. That is causing some heavy traffic for you in both directions between the McKees Rocks Bridge and Bellevue. A lot of the traffic lights there in Bellevue, of course. Millerton is one of those intersections on your way to the McKees Rocks Bridge, so leave extra time there. Mobile single-lane traffic restrictions could cause you some slowdowns today in Franklin Park Borough and Marshall Township on Interstate 79. Survey crews will be on that stretch between the I-79-279 split and the Pennsylvania Turnpike up until about 2 p.m. today. And the Sewickley Bridge is getting some inspection today, so watch for a single alternating lane of traffic on that span until about 3 p.m. between Route 65 in Sewickley Borough and Route 51 in Moon Township. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All the news you need for your day and the sports, music, and podcasts you love are all on the free Odyssey app. Download now.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Progressive knows road trips without your pet can be tough.
Hi, this is Next Stop Dog Boarding.
Hi, it's Scott again. How's Squeaks doing? You can tell if he's stressed by his eyebrows. Oh, and his breathing should sound like this.
Scott, Squeaks is exactly the same as last time you called.
Okay, let's talk in 20 to see if anything's changed.
With Progressive, your pet is covered up to $1,000 in vet bills in case of a car accident. So next time, you can take your pet with you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms.
Springtime, right? Duh. So now's the time to take a look at some new windows. Universal Windows Direct is the place to go. Check this out. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free. No limit, by the way. Buy 4, get 4 free. You get it. So, pay no interest until 2030. Come on. No interest for the next 6 years. And they'll give an extra $500 off on your home improvement project. Universal Windows Direct. By the way, it's a great product. They have great technology, great service. Universal Windows Direct. Springtime, folks. Got to do it. 412-545-6003. 412-545-6003. Or visit universalwindowsdirect.com. Schedule a free in-home visit today.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler...
Come in and try the Good Feet feeling today. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief at the Good Feet store. Visit us in Robinson Town Center, in Cranberry Township, and now open in Morgantown.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
My boy's back. Jim Toten, Toten's Diner. Great breakfast, great lunch, big portions, great pricing, great staff. Jim and Joanne are running an amazing joint. Check it out. Toten's Diner, Route 19, Perry Highway.
Hear about it, then talk about it. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Live at Oakmont Bakery, utility workers, first responders, stepping in their free bagels, donuts, pastry, coffee. Love it. Come on down. They had a hell of a power outage, lost tens of thousands of dollars. There are thousands of people still without power, most of them in the city. Massive trees down, major issues. I wanted to grab Bruce. Thanks for holding so long, Bruce. Go ahead.
Hey, Marty, I just want to say hats off to the utility workers and everybody else, first responders. They're doing a great job. But what really ticks me off, Marty, is you got these people that never did an ounce of physical labor in their life saying how long it takes to get Duquesne Light and all the power companies and tree cutters there, and especially Mandy Steele. She never did an ounce of physical work in her life.
Yeah, but hold on.
I was 18 years
Hold on.
Go ahead.
And Donald Trump never served in the military and critiques them every day. Not the point. Isn't it fair if the PUC says, and they do, that Duquesne Light responds about 30% slower than others and First Energy responds about 36% slower than others? Isn't it fair, Bruce, and by the way, I love your call and your passion, isn't it fair to raise issue with why is that happening? And isn't it fair for me to say the reason why it's happening is because of early retirements, lousy equipment, and not enough staff? Isn't that fair, sir, to raise those issues and to fix them for the next time?
In a way, Marty, yeah, I agree with you, but in a way, no. I mean, these are people that are sitting behind a desk, and they're the Public Utility Commission. How do they know how long it takes?
What do you mean? Hold on, man. Hold on. All the response times are available, sir. All the times they're on the job are available. And again, you're not listening to me. They're diminishing staff. They're diminishing equipment. As I said, Bruce, they're playing 11-man football with 7 guys. They can't do what we want them to do. So fix it for the next time. Make it work the next time. I think that's a fair assessment, and I think it deserves some scrutiny. We're not saying they suck. We're saying they need to do better, and here's how they do better. Isn't that fair, sir?
I see the point you're trying to get across, Marty. But nobody will say what a physically demanding job these poor people have.
Well, then
these workers
you
have.
mustn't listen, because we've been talking about it for a week. It's hell. It's dangerous as hell. It's physically and mentally taxing. My man, I was watching them yesterday. It made me nervous watching those guys do that work. Kicking ass. However, they need more people and better equipment, and we need a better response so people aren't screaming and yelling 10 days in. Don't you think, sir?
Like I said, Marty, there's parts of the conversation I agree with you with, and there's parts that I don't.
Yeah, of course. And why wouldn't you? But for Mandy Steele, okay, so what? She never climbed a pole. But why can't she hold hearings to say, here's what we need to do to make this better? Not to say, Duquesne Light sucks, First Energy sucks, but here's what we need to do to help them do a better job. I'm going to give you one more example. You have a second?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. That guy who tried to burn down the governor's mansion, mentally ill, wanted to kill the governor and his whole family, right? Right. So the state police do an investigation. They won't release the findings of the investigation. So I hear fence is too low, not enough security cameras, not enough staff, and not enough training. Is that me saying state police suck, Bruce? No. It's saying let's find this issue. Let's fix this issue so the next time the guy doesn't succeed and kill the governor or his family or a state senator or that state representative. All I'm suggesting is when Trump was shot in Butler, Mike Kelly, my man, called congressional hearings. Guess what? I have a 200-page book from him, and they made massive changes. All I'm suggesting is Mike Kelly never worked for the Secret Service, but what he did was opened up the vault and found what needed fixed, and they're fixing it. That's all I'm saying. Now, for folks who just blatantly say Duquesne Light sucks, not fair, not justified, and you're spot on, brother. Spot on. I get it completely.
Thanks a lot.
All right, my man.
Well, I thank you.
All right, my man.
All right.
By the way,
have a good one.
By the way, I love his call. I love his passion, and I love his energy. Mike Kelly never worked for the Secret Service. He called a bipartisan committee to investigate the Trump shootings and sent me a 200-page book with every single detail of what happened and the necessary changes made to protect the president. Why can't we do something similar on a smaller scale with Duquesne Light? Why can't we do something similar on a smaller scale with the state police and the governor's mansion? We can, and we have to, and we're going to push to get that done. We'll be right back. We're live at Oakmont Bakery.
The biggest reason Metropolitan Window Company has been in business since 1978 is our huge list of satisfied customers.
John, Maggie, and Justin Schmutzer here from Metropolitan Window Company, Pittsburgh's locally owned and family-operated window and door company for over 47 years.
When you choose Metropolitan Window Company, you're getting expertise and attention to detail from a trusted business that puts your needs first.
You're also getting our exclusive Infinity from Marvin 100% fiberglass windows that are built for life.
The most important part of a window is the framing. Fiberglass frames won't lose their dimensional integrity. They're the strongest, longest-lasting window you can buy.
And right now, you can save 30% and get 18-month no-interest financing on every window and door product we offer.
Stop by one of our showrooms, visit us at metropolitanwindows.com, or give us a call at 412
crazy. Crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Crazy. It's 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 crazy. crazy. It's 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 crazy.
And this is a low-level incident. What if there were 2 people? What if there were 3 people? What if the guy has a gun instead of a hammer or a rifle? It's a very bad day.
You know, I heard that they don't want to work that shift because the shift sucks. Okay. But the governor almost got killed, and his family almost died. And let's be honest, if they had 3 people there, they probably needed 10. Easy, right? Is that fair?
Well, one of the things that the governor said in his interview with you, Marty, on KDKA, is that he was awakened by a trooper knocking on the door. So that means that trooper would have had to escort him out,
exactly,
to either a waiting vehicle or some place of safety, and it's inadequate. So it tells me that there were likely 2 or 3 working that evening. It's staffing. You just can't perform full services when you don't have the people. And guess what? It's embarrassing. It is, and it's very boring work. Most uniformed officers, again, protective operations is very different. And most police executives don't understand it. So that means they typically don't staff it in the way that it needs to be. So it's the confluence of all of these factors that I've talked about that led to this embarrassing issue.
You know, there's an amazing question comes in from Billy. Ron, what happens if that happens at the White House? What's the response?
Okay, so that's a great question. So the White House is a very different place, but one of the things that they do, even for new agents that are assigned to the detail, there's something called a crash. And what that means is that no matter where you are and what you're doing, there are protocols for you to take up, not arms, but to take up positions. In other words, there are response protocols. When this happens, you do that. And to be honest, they're pretty simplistic because they've been trained. They've been mapped up.
Nice.
So at the White House, all of those agents, it's 2 weeks of mids, 2 weeks afternoons, 2 weeks of days, and 2 weeks of training, doing exactly that kind of thing. I still have my crash card. They used to say that it was agent-proof. I would grow up and learn that really means idiot-proof because it has to be simplistic. When something happens, this is exactly what you do. But the point is, these responses have to be trained. They've got to be embedded into your culture. And the truth is, again, it's a niche kind of an operation. Protective operations is very, very different. But that's, to answer Billy's questions, that's what happens at the White House.
My brother,
These
thank you.
positions are already predetermined.
Spot on as always. Thanks, my man.
Marty, thank you. Be well.
I have a bunch of state leaders, including Kim Ward, going for this report. We got to tell the truth here. And the public needs to know. We'll be right back.
Progressive knows road trips without your pet can be tough.
Hi, this is Next Stop Dog Boarding.
Hi, it's Scott again. How's Squeaks doing? You can tell if he's stressed by his eyebrows. Oh, and his breathing should sound like this.
Scott, Squeaks is exactly the same as last time you called.
Okay, let's talk in 20 to see if anything's changed.
With Progressive, your pet is covered up to $1,000 in vet bills in case of a car accident. So next time, you can take your pet with you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms.
Lowe's helps refresh your garden in time for Mother's Day. Right now, get 5 bags of 1.5 cubic foot Scott's Naturescapes mulch for just $10. Plus, select 1.5 gallon annuals hanging baskets make the perfect gift. Now 2 for only $15. The best garden starts with great deals. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 5/7. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase.
Hi, I'm Janice. I'm a coach at Awaken 180 Weight Loss. One of my most successful clients, not only in weight loss, but in attitude, came to us with stern doctor's orders that if he didn't do something, he would be dead within 5 years. He did not initially even want to have the conversation, but he signed up for the program. By the second week on the program, he was thanking me, thanking the program. He could not believe how much better he felt. Within 8 weeks, he was down 55 pounds. He was a true transformation of body, but definitely of mind. And of course, he feels amazing.
Losing weight with Awaken 180 isn't about the number on the scale. It's about how that number spearheads endless successes. Bring your goals to Awaken 180, then celebrate when you check off each and every one of them. Call 844-346-1800 or go online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Experience, leadership, equity, and integrity represent how Sheriff Kevin Krause effectively serves Allegheny County. Paul Martino here, supporting the re-election of Allegheny County Sheriff Kevin Krause. Kevin's proven commitment to public safety, his exemplary law enforcement principles, and his decades of local law enforcement service are key reasons to re-elect him as sheriff.
I'm Sheriff Kevin Krause. I'd be honored to earn your vote on May 20th.
Paid for by friends of Kevin Krause for sheriff.
Honey, I found the perfect place for my parents and us.
Where?
St. Barnabas. For us, the Woodlands Carriage Home Community. And for my parents, condominium-style living at the Village. My folks will love the Village. There's an indoor mall with shops, restaurants, and more. And we can relax, knowing they're safe and secure.
That's what I plan to do when we move to St. Barnabas. Relax.
Call 724-444-5568 or visit stbarnabascommunities.com.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Mostly cloudy and 70 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 1:30. I'm Paul Alexander. Thousands of Duquesne Light customers are expected to get their service back this afternoon following last week's storms. More from News Radio KDK's David Ballarado.
As of early afternoon, the number of Duquesne Light customers without service was sitting around 17,000, about 13,000 of those in the city. The numbers come after nearly 250,000 of its customers were plunged into darkness following Tuesday's storms that downed trees and wires. Duquesne Light says about 600 out-of-town crews have been working to restore service, and by the end of the day, they expect to bring 13,000 more back online. David Ballarado, News Radio, KDKA.
When will the rain end? National Weather Service meteorologist Jason Frazier tells the Big K Morning Show we have one more day of concern before we start the transition into drier weather.
The system that's been causing all of this is going to start to actually finally exit through the day tomorrow into Wednesday. So we're going to see eventually a reprieve from all of this, but it's going to take some time. We'll start to get at least out of the concerns for those severe threats, those heavy rain threats as we go through the later week.
Says some of the outlying areas saw up to 2.5 inches of rain over the weekend. Former Steelers linebacker Devin Bush is charged with simple assault and harassment following an incident over the weekend at his Bell Acres home. According to the media report, he got into a physical argument with his girlfriend, smashed her phone so she couldn't call for help. He's free on non-monetary bond and faces a preliminary hearing May 20th. A passerby discovered human remains Sunday in a wooded area off I-70 in the city of Washington. The coroner's office says the death does not appear to be suspicious and is being investigated by Washington police. A woman was in critical condition after being hit by a pickup truck Sunday morning in Stowe Township. The GMC struck the woman around 10:15 a.m. in the 2100 block of Robinson Boulevard. The driver remained at the scene. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 31 points, the Nasdaq down 55. The S&P 500 is down 16. KDK Radio News Time is 1:31. Our next update at 2 o'clock. I'm Paul Alexander on the Voice of Pittsburgh News Radio, KDKA.
Contemplating retirement but worried you can't afford it because of high health care insurance costs? Dina Schmidt and her team at One Health Benefits will guide you on what's best for your retirement health care needs. One Health Benefits has been providing customized health benefit choices to retirees for over 2 decades. You'll probably be pleasantly surprised about the affordable options from One Health Benefits. Call today, 724-799-8873. Or learn more at onehealthbenefits.com.
Lunch was great. Lawrenceville is such a fun spot.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
Hey, folks, NASCO Roofing, the region's roofing leader, continues to exceed customer expectations. Carol from Pittsburgh praised NASCO Roofing for their quality workmanship and the timely manner NASCO completed her new roof. She loved how friendly and easy NASCO Roofing was to work with. NASCO has satisfied thousands like Carol. Get NASCO on your roof next. Call NASCO Roofing, 412-373-2000, 412-373-2000. Most jobs done in a day. Special financing available. NASCO Roofing, NASCO.
At Penn West University, we're making college make sense again for people who maybe thought college wasn't the answer. We're making college practical with programs tied to in-demand jobs that prepare you for success right away. We're making college accessible by breaking down barriers and offering more choices. We're making college approachable with faculty who understand where you're coming from and help you get where you're going. At Penn West, we're making college valuable again for people just like you. Learn more at pennwest.edu.
So, I'm getting older, duh. And we're thinking about retirement, and we're thinking about estate planning. I'm serious about this stuff because once you get in your 60s, you got to think about what happens next. What do I do with this savings? How do I protect this asset? What happens if I get sick? What happens if I need long-term care? What do we do with our house? What do you do with trust for kids? All this stuff, man. Sat in Julian Gray's office for an hour this week with my wife, Christine. It was like manna from heaven because my man knows what he's talking about. Julian Gray is the guru, the best. Set up a plan, set up a timeline, set up a strategy that made us feel good. Julian Gray, the best, folks. GrayElderLaw.com. 412-458-6000. 412-458-6000.
Do you love hauling 20,000-pound coils? So do my friends at PGT Trucking. Larry Richard for PGT Trucking. They have local Pittsburgh runs for experienced flatbed truck drivers. Get home every day with PGT's Pittsburgh Local. Positions are available for company drivers, lease purchase, and owner-operators. Must have experience with steel coils. Join PGT Pittsburgh Local and become one of the proud professionals. Apply today at pgttrucking.com, pgttrucking.com.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
For the rest of today, we'll see intervals of clouds and sun. There'll be a shower, even a couple of heavy, gusty thunderstorms around in the afternoon and early tonight, any of which can produce downpours, hail, and damaging wind gusts, the high 73. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Loyalty has its rewards at your neighborhood Par-Mar store. See for yourself. Download the Par-Mar stores app today and find deals, coupons, and earn points to get free groceries. Dan Zangrilli reminding you that if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Hi, this is Larry Richard. Join us on the Big K Morning Show tomorrow, 5:30 until 10. Find out if the tariff on foreign movies will have an impact here.
My man Larry. Love that man. If you don't like Larry, something's wrong with you. I can see if you don't like me. I'm kind of an irritant to some people, including my wife sometimes. My wife said to me, was it Friday night? They all become a blur when you don't have power. A lot of people are a lot worse off. I did not complain. We're very blessed. We have a wonderful life. We had hot water, so we could do laundry. No, we couldn't. I forgot. We could flush the toilet. We could take showers. And honestly, at night, we sat around, we did some stuff on cell phones, but we talked a lot. It was kind of cool. However, it does get old. And on Friday night, my wife was upset with me and said, I need to ask you something. I said, what's up? She said, you're angry. I said, yes, I am. A lot going on. She said, can you try to be nicer? I said, yes, I will. I'm sorry, dear. In an effort to make sure I was on track in my niceness tour, I kept checking in every few hours with her about me being nice. And it worked out. These things affray the nerves. My wife is a better person than I am. She has an amazing disposition. She's unbelievably positive. She's a magnificent woman, my wife, and I'm a punk. And a lot of work, and as I say to my friends, life in the blender, welcome. I also respect and admire the state leaders who said, hey, this stuff in Harrisburg has to stop with the state police hiding this report. And they're calling for the report, including Kim Ward, Republican, the most powerful woman in the state, I would argue. We're not trying to pick on the state police. We're trying to learn the truth here and trying to fix a problem here. Just saying. I got to mention this restaurant we went to on Saturday night. Southside Works. Anyone out there, I don't know how to pronounce it, maybe Patrick does. He's much better at this than I am. There's only 3 of these restaurants in the world. 2 of them in New York. It's Michelin rated. It's Michelin rated, which means it's badass. And there's one on the south side. I'm serious. And they make these dumplings. Soup dumplings. Folks, it's called, I'm going to spell it, Nanxiang, Nanjing. I'm not trying to be rude. Nanjing. I'm telling you, it's unbelievable that a restaurant can be that good at something. Nanjing. These dumplings, ma'am, they're handmade, homemade, right there. They have a little soup in them. One of the best meals I've had in years. Great price, insane service, unbelievable. When you go to an Italian restaurant, there's a bunch of Italians in there, you know it's good food. I'm serious about this. When you go to a Mexican restaurant, you see a lot of Hispanics, you know it's good food. When you go to a Chinese dumpling restaurant and it's packed with Asian folks from the Pittsburgh area, you know it's good. It was insanely amazing. I get nothing out of this. They don't understand what the hell I'm saying. But I like to recommend good places. Meantime, we've been here all morning with Marc Serrao from Oakmont Bakery. I don't think people understand, Mark, the responsibility of owning a small business. So you're standing here was it Tuesday when that thing hit?
Yeah.
What time?
5:15.
So, like, right in the rush hour?
Yeah. Yep. People were leaving, coming home from work. They stopped here on the way, yep.
And you're standing here looking out the window, and what do you see?
Well, we heard that it was coming. We got alarms on our phones.
Oh.
So I ran around and turned all of our HVAC systems off because the last time it happened, a few months ago, it burned out. Only part of our power went out. So the compressors kept running, and it burned out all of our HVAC systems.
Oh, how?
Because it was our 3-phase power was running, which is the higher power. So it was running the motors, but the other part wasn't running. So it burned out all of the boards and stuff.
Whoa. And so then it hits about 5:15?
Yep.
When did you go dark?
Like 5:20. It was actually nice weather.
Yeah, it was.
5:15 hits. It got really dark. The wind came barreling through for 5 minutes. 10 minutes later, it was sunny again.
You were out for how long?
For 23 hours and 45 minutes.
And it was, for you as a personal, this is a big deal to you. You have 200 employees. You have a lot of responsibility. But here's why I love you. Your biggest concern wasn't about you. It was about weddings that weekend.
19 brides.
Right?
Yes. Yep.
You couldn't get that out of your head.
I couldn't even wrap my head around calling one of them. And, we kept waiting to call them. And because it was late. It was on Wednesday we started talking about calling them because I didn't even know where they would order a wedding cake on Thursday for Saturday.
So they were all getting married Saturday.
Yeah, it was all Saturday.
And you had 19 cakes to make. Because you can't make them a week in advance.
Right. We normally start them on Wednesday and decorate them on Friday, deliver them on Saturday.
Wow. And so did you call anyone?
We didn't call one bride. We decided that we were going to call. That's why I keep saying 23 hours and 45 minutes. Our operations director, Courtney, she was like, let's wait 24 hours.
Wow.
and 15 minutes would have been 24 hours.
Did you sleep at all?
Not at all. In fact, I stayed here at the bakery, and because I was just waiting for the power to come on, so I stayed here all night. My future son-in-law stayed with me, and he slept pretty good.
Did he?
Yeah, we slept in these chairs.
You and I have been friends more than 20 years. We're family in essence. We make fun of each. If you could read our tweets, but
You wouldn't want to.
Our texts wouldn't want to. We mess with each other all day long, and I was texting you. You
Yeah.
had no interest in me texting you. You had no interest in joking. You had no interest in responding at all. You had said, blank this. We got to get this thing going, right?
Yeah, but I always am interested. I mean, I appreciate your concern.
No, of course,
and you were
yeah.
concerned, but I had no interest in talking.
Because there's so much at stake.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And in the process, you're losing tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And the real bizarre irony is you have generators that were 95% ready to go.
Correct.
Right?
Yep. 95%. If they would have had one more day, the generators would have. Well, actually, they did jumpstart them. They got them started, and they cooled down our freezers and coolers, and then found out that they weren't fully connected, and they had to shut it off. But they shut it off 6 hours before the power came back on. So we didn't lose anything from our freezers. We did lose all of our refrigerated stuff. We threw that away immediately.
This is the burden of owning a small business.
Yeah.
It's on you, brother.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, and then all of our employees, are waiting to find out if they're coming to work or not because their production starts 24 hours before the day.
Oh.
Yeah.
It ain't easy.
No, but like I said, we were a lot more fortunate than a lot of other businesses.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm so grateful for that. We got every cake done. And it was also, that was the biggest communion confirmation weekend. And so we were able to get all of our orders out.
So just for perspective, JK owns like 8 restaurants in this town.
Yeah.
And as of right now, Michael A's isn't open until Wednesday, and Vinny's isn't open until 4 p.m. today. So for a business owner, this stuff can be brutal, can it not, sir?
Yeah.
And it's all on you, isn't it, brother?
It is.
Next time someone wants to open a business. But you still love it.
Yeah, I love it.
And Mark said, do the show from here Monday. We'll give everybody that helped out here donuts and pastry and bagels and coffee. And you did that. Thanks, my man. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Marty.
None of this is ever easy. None of it. And we want to congratulate and thank all of the utility workers out there for working so hard, 12 to 16-hour days, and they're still at it. Last we checked, Pittsburgh still without about 13 to 15,000 homes without power in Pittsburgh. We'll be right back.
Did you know that now you can listen to all your favorite...
Marty, are you good to do the CCAC
$500 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 412-556-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 412-556-BATH.
Baths are us. When dreams sunk in, Baths are us.
My boy is back. Jim Toten, Toten's Diner. Great breakfast, great lunch, big portions, great pricing, great staff. Jim and Joanne are running an amazing joint. Check it out. Toten's Diner, Route 19, Perry Highway. When you buy appliances, they break. It's just the truth. Check this out. Voss TV and Appliance. They have their own crews, their own folks, techs that fix this stuff, and they're magnificent. Here's the other thing about Voss. Our dishwasher broke. They got a new dishwasher in our house within a week and a half. In this marketplace, in crazy weather, during crazy times. Voss TV and Appliance, 412-650-VOSS, 412-650-VOSS.
The biggest reason Metropolitan Window Company has been in business since 1978 is our huge list of satisfied customers.
John, Maggie, and Justin Schmutzer here from Metropolitan Window Company, Pittsburgh's locally owned and family-operated window and door company for over 47 years.
When you choose Metropolitan Window Company, you're getting expertise and attention to detail from a trusted business that puts your needs first.
You're also getting our exclusive Infinity from Marvin 100% fiberglass window.